All right. The Arrow podcast. Quite a few things to go over, man, but let's jump right into this previous preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's jump in.
Red and gold. Red and gold. Red and gold.
All right. The Arrow podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Help me help you. You guys know the spiel by now, so let's jump right into this thing. So I got quite a few things, guys. I have notes, which I've written down, which I never usually do because I like to keep it genuine. But there's a lot to go over, man. First off, I'm going to try and keep the offense on the offense and the defense on the defense. So let's go ahead and start with one. The kickoff is weird. It's weird, but we'll start with that. Whatever it is, we need some work. Now, I don't mind the mistake by Deneric Prince walking away from a live ball on special teams. Well, I guess I can say I do mind that. Morally, I don't mind McCole Hardman taking the safety, which obviously he was mistaken for. I mean, the rules are still a little shaky. It's still fairly new. It's the newest thing pretty much we've ever seen, or I've ever seen since I've been watching football. So I can't blame him too much. Deneric Prince walking away from a live ball, not necessarily knowing how stuff works, is a problem. Also, 174-yard run and another like 40-yard run. So we need to go ahead and buckle down on special teams. That is looking a little concerning. I know it was the first game, so we'll see going forth. But let's jump into the offense, man. Let's start with the offensive line. Offensive line looked very, very good. Kingsley Samatea, excuse me, looked very good. The offensive line as a whole, even without Joe Thuney, the first team, the starters, looked very good. I was a little impressed. I was a little impressed with the second team offensive line as well. There's a guy I wanted to point out, Ethan Driscoll, UDFA, 6'9", 313 pounds, monster. I did notice he looked pretty good. I hadn't necessarily heard of him. Man, that's my apologies. But yeah, I didn't really. It's kind of hard to follow UDFAs because they're there for 1 second and then they're gone. But I do see him making the roster. I see him making the roster as to back up on a right tackle. So I think that's interesting to back up Juwan Taylor. I'm not entirely sure how we feel about Lucas Niang as far as the organization. Lucas Niang did look okay, but as a whole, the offensive line I was a little impressed by. So we'll go ahead and move on because there's quite a few things. Now, guys, oh my gosh, Carson Steele, truck, Optimus Prime. I'm calling Carson Steele Optimus Prime. By the way, Carson Steele is also technically a white Kareem Hunt. There, I said it. He reminds me of Kareem Hunt, and it's just because he kind of steamrolls and how people bounce off of him when they try to hit him, but he's steamrolling people. Guys, the 3rd and 1, the 4th and 1, the 1 yard, 2 yard issues that we've kind of always had for the last few years because of one person is gone. So it's gone. Carson Steele is going to be that guy that does make that, I would say, difference as for those 1 yard, 2 yard games that we've seemed to struggle. And did seem for like Mahomes to have to throw the ball, unfortunately, on 2 yard, 3 yard, 1 yard, 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2nds, 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, etc. You guys get it. So Carson Steele is a monster. He looked very good, looked faster than I thought, and I look very forward to him. I do think that he is going to be the main guy backing up Isaiah Pacheco. So look out for him. I am very impressed, and I am looking forward to see more of Carson Steele. Deneric Prince, like I told you guys, sorry. Yeah, he is what he was a year ago. Yeah, I'm not too into talking crap or whatever you want to say about my own team. So, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Deneric Prince, I think, is trash, guys. Sorry. I don't think he's it. I don't think he will be it. And I don't see him making the team. If he makes a team, it'd be on the practice squad where he was last year. And he looks no different. He looks slow, but yeah. So moving on from that, which I've already said before. So moving on from that I believe, Nico Remigio. Also, yeah. Nico Remigio, guys. Besides that little fumble that ended up not being a fumble that was called back, Nico Remigio is what Sky Moore should have been. Okay? He's, in my eyes, going to be that Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type of guy, man. He's low gravity, stocky. He kind of reminds me, maybe not necessarily of Hines Ward yet, but to me, he has that type of build. I believe we do need that route technician kind of guy, which Wes Welker was a monster. So I do believe that he is going to kind of play somewhat of that role. So I do see Nico Remigio making the team, and at least I hope so. Justin Ross made some pretty good plays. Kind of the same difference. I'll have to see a little more consistency out of him moving forth. So Isaiah Pacheco looked faster. He looked very good. Didn't see too much from him, but we know what it is. Isaiah Pacheco is a beast. But I did notice one thing. He did look like he had lost a few pounds, which he, I believe, someone claimed for him to do. I'm not sure if he did himself, but he definitely looked a little slimmer, and he looks faster. So that's always good. Now, I believe that's all I have. Also, Chris Oladukin. Man, sounds like Hadouken. Anyways, he's pretty impressive, man. I can see him going somewhere after this. Now, we'll see what he does, for the rest of the preseason. But last year he did something similar. He drove up and down the field, man. Scored at least once, almost every drive, every other drive. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Oladukin. So we'll see with that one, guys. But let's go ahead and move over to the defense, because this one's not. It's one preseason game, guys. Remember, preseason is a little somewhat hard to gauge because it just is, man. You just never know with preseason. So, but one thing I will say, Joshua Williams has not progressed. Joshua Williams, the corner, has not progressed. I see no progression. He looks exactly the same as he has, which I have told you in a previous video that I was concerned about that. I'm a little annoyed I didn't get to see Najee Johnson. Jalen Watson, we'll see if he maybe have progressed, but honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you, both of those guys are going to be what they've been. It is what it is. A little inconsistent in the regular season, but I will say, come playoff time, they have proven to be clutch. So I will say that, which is huge, guys. That is a whole nother factor. See, a lot of people don't understand. Some players just ain't clutch in playoffs, man. And some of them great, some of them good, some of them solid, some of them all right. But some of them, when it comes to playoffs, are just not the same. So when you get guys like that, regardless of what position, regardless of what side of the ball, offense, defense, it is rare and it is imperative to me. So regardless, I think Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson will play a important role in this defense, but they are going to be inconsistent and they are going to be what they are, period. So I can't necessarily say I'm concerned because we got Steve Spags and he'll figure it out, dice it, you guys know how he gets down. So Leo Chanel can't cover to save his life, so he will probably be thrown in like he's been for run stuffing plays, run plays, whatever you want to call it. I do not want to see Leo Chanel backing up in coverage. I don't want to see that. But obviously there was no Nick Bolton, so it is what it is. So there's a few more things, guys. Sorry, there's a lot on this list. Nick Jones had one pass breakup and that he didn't turn his head on. So to me, not impressive whatsoever. I don't see him doing anything special, guys. Sorry. I don't see anything special out of Nick Jones. I think that will be what it is. Guys, I don't mean to be negative, guys, but I call it what it's like. He didn't turn his head twice. Got a touchdown caught in his face, and his pass breakup, he didn't turn his head. You got to turn around, man. I don't understand what it is with these guys that aren't turning around. There is a lot of times where if they would just turn around, the quarterback will underthrow it, and it's a pick all day long. Now, I do understand there is instances where you do have to catch up with the guy, but got to flip your hips, man. I don't like Joshua Williams' hips. I don't think he flips his hips well whatsoever, and I don't think Nick Jones does neither. Jaden Hicks, haven't seen enough from him to really say anything, so we'll see with that. But what I did like, because I think we'll be okay. I think Jalen Watson, I need to see Najee Johnson. I think that's imperative. I need to see what he looks like because I have no idea. So we'll see with that. But I will say Keith Taylor, guys. 3rd year, believe we got him somehow from the Panthers. I can't remember how, what, why, when, what, where. But Keith Taylor, big guy, bro. 6'3", 200 pounds. Number 39, guys, out there. I think that's going to be our guy. Watch him closely. I'm interested, very. I think he is going to be one of our starting corners. He is going to win 3rd, 2nd, whatever. Obviously, Trent McDuffie's our first, but I do feel like we want to keep Trent McDuffie inside instead of out, and I think that is the plan. So I do see Keith Taylor and maybe Jalen Watson. We'll see if Najee Johnson, but what is another possibility is Najee Johnson inside with Trent McDuffie outside and maybe Jalen Watson or Keith Taylor on the other side. I don't see Joshua Williams starting. I don't see it. I think they will rotate him and Jalen Watson like they kind of always have, which to me, honestly, I don't mind because I will say one thing about Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams. They do complement each other. So when Jalen Watson's having a bad game, Joshua Williams comes in and they're straight. And then it's vice versa. When Joshua Williams is, if Joshua Williams having a bad game, Jalen Watson comes in. Hopefully I said that right, but you know what I'm saying. They complement each other, guys. So if we continue to rotate them, which I guarantee you we will, then we'll be fine there. So corners, I wouldn't say I'm concerned, but still mystery mark. Defensive line looked good for now. So we'll see how that plans out. But I do think that the defensive line is not going to miss a beat. And I do feel like the linebackers will not miss a beat neither. So I will say this, and I'll come out and say this, and I'll say this now because this is how I've always felt. I feel like our defense will take a very slight step backwards, but not enough to be so noticeable. We're still going to be top 5, which is more than enough Mahomes can ask for. You guys know how Mahomes gets down. So I believe I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I think we're good to go, guys. That's kind of all I wanted to go over for now, man. Let's see what happens this next preseason game. I do obviously want to see a little bit more of Mahomes next game. Maybe not too much. Why would I? Yeah, no, never mind. That's fine. Mahomes can sit down. But everyone else definitely needs to play, besides obviously Travis Kelce. But Carson Steele is what I'm excited about, fellas. That is the main thing I took from this game. I think we found that guy, bro. That guy we really needed. That goal line, that 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. You know what I'm saying? 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. So I'm really excited about that. So that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget, this is the Arrow Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification, whatever. I'm outros, fellas.
Yeah, we running out of time. 1-5, catch me in the end.